Namaste. Welcome to day 23 of our 45-day journey together for ladies and gentlemen and lasting longer. Super excited to be here with you today. Today's a completely yoga sequence day, but before we get started, just a few little reminders. Be sure to hit that like button. It helps us push this video out to more people, so I may help more people. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification button so when day 24 gets released, you'll be right there with us. With that, let's get started here today. Welcome. If possible, I'd love for you to do the sequence outside and get some nice vitamin D, which will also help you in lasting longer. Now, this is a completely yoga sequence day, so if you don't want to do the yoga or if you're struggling, no problem. You can take it slow and follow along as best as you can, and then you can build to it, or you can do any of the previous 22 days that were presented. I'm just trying to do my best to help you get into a rhythm and use the asanas and the acupressure as therapy to help you along the way. With that, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to first start with the chair yoga, so it's standing up, and then grab a pillow if you can. First, what I want you to do is feet about shoulder length apart, and then you can place the pillow in between your legs, and then stretch out your shoulders, and then you want to slightly sit as if you're sitting in a chair. And we're going to hold that pose for about a couple of minutes. Now, if you're unable to do this for the full 2 minutes, then I want you to do as best as you can for 30 seconds and then build your way up. And then as you're doing this, you can also do some of the visualization that we have talked about in the previous sequences. You can visualize the blood flow coming from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of the pelvic floor. And this will metaphorically work with the pelvic floor because of the asana, and in addition to the asana, in pulling that blood flow to the pelvic floor. Now, why is this important? Because the more we can tone that pelvic floor, the greater control you're going to have in lasting longer, which is what the goal is here for men and women, not only for men with eggplant, PE, and ED issues, but for women who are struggling with also climaxing a little longer in duration. The next thing I want to mention is be sure to get your vitamin D in. I'm encouraging all of you to do your best to get some sun. A lot of us are working remotely now, working at home in our basements or spare bedrooms or in our living rooms. And get that vitamin D. It's going to help improve blood flow as well, which will help you to be lasting longer as well. Now, the next asana is also standing to sitting. We don't need the pillow, and it's the yogi squat. So similar, feet shoulder length apart, and then we're going to simply go down and we're going to squat. And again, I want you to do this for anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Do what you can. This is a very powerful asana. I can feel that my pelvic floor is toning, and the greater tone that it can provide, the greater control you're going to have, greater blood flow to that area, and the greater control that you have, then you're going to be able to last longer and have that satisfying stamina that we all desire, both for men and women. It's a partnership, so I'm doing my best to present to you items for both men and women. Now, a few other reminders is the reason why I'm doing my best to present you asanas is I want you to get the exercise in. It's so important. And if you're not able to do the asanas, then start with 30 minutes of walking a day and build it up to about an hour walking a day. The American Heart Association recommends about 10,000 steps a day. That ends up being about 4 to 5 miles, a little bit more in kilometers, but if you can do that daily, it not only helps with ED and PE issues, but it also tones the pelvic floor. So ladies, it'll help you with not only reproduction, but also lasting longer. And a consequent result is that as you lose the weight, you're going to be able to also have more available resources for pleasure, such as lasting longer in the bedroom. So I'm really doing my best to get you out there in the sun doing some exercise. It'll be good for you in many different ways. Then the last asana is nice. It's a very nice way to end. So what I want you to do is go ahead and sit comfortably, and I want you to put your feet next to each other, the bottom of the feet touching each other, and I want you to simply move the knees from the floor to the top. Now, if you're not able to move the feet close together, then do as best as you can and go ahead and do this. It's going to help loosen the pelvic floor because we've basically done two that are very good in toning the pelvic floor. So this is a nice way to go ahead and end, and also hopefully prevent any injury from the first two. So we're going to do this for the next 2 minutes. Now, before I forget, a couple little friendly reminders is to go to the description below the YouTube video and to please send us your email address. We're going to send you some free course materials so you get the full effect of this course. So that way you not only enjoy the sequence that you can do whenever you want, and also you'll have some available materials that you can take notes upon. The other thing that I want to mention is that as you're doing this sequence, let's say you go through the full 45 days and then you're like, well, I'm going to take a little break and do it longer. Not a problem. There's so many health benefits for all the acupressure and the asanas that I provide, and none of it will do harm for you. So do your best to evaluate. Most patients, they do these sequences for a couple of weeks to a couple of months, and then you'll know when you need to stop or restart. Up to you. Very last thing, I'm not a primary care doctor, so it's really important for you to get checked out by your physician. Do me the honor of getting checked out by your doctor and follow his or her recommendations. I want you to have a good relationship with your doctor, not to replace anything I say with what your doctor says. Do what your doctor says first, and you can layer in the asanas and acupressure that we present here today. That's really important to me. And also, we have quite a few other series coming up, so I hope you check them out. My goal is for you to look and feel your best, which will help me do my part in helping you. With that, I want you to pick 2 more sequences. You can do this sequence 2 more times, or you can pick any other ones from the first 22 days and do that 2 more times till we meet up tomorrow. Until then, be well, and thank you for joining me.